I'm a mom to 5 kids, 2 different age groups. 3 are out of the house and 2 are still in the house in school. My husband and I have been married for 18 years, and my parents recently moved in with us 2 years ago. It is a multi-generational home and one that I cherish every day. But here's the thing, I suffer from the shoulda, woulda, couldas on occasion. And I should say that I'm a recovering sufferer. I work outside of the home, and so I love my career, and I volunteer a lot in the community. I am pretty much on the go a lot between my role as wife, mom, and career woman. And there are times as a mother that I really felt like I was not doing enough. And I'm here to tell you that you are enough as we go through this today. So, something many of you do is mom. So I'm going to use mom as an adjective for the sake of what I'll be talking about. And it doesn't help when we compare ourselves to others in the way that we mom. So let's just talk about that for a while. When I was working, I had the summers off as a teacher the first part of my career. It was great. The 3 kids would be here for the summer, and I had all of my summers off to devote time to them. And then when I had my now 14-year-old, I became an administrator, which required me to work all through the summer, during the school year. And you know what I found to be pretty helpful in having that happen? As a principal, I had the whole run of the school during the summer where it was just myself, sometimes my secretary, or my custodian. And I was able to do what moms across the nation sometimes couldn't do. I could bring my kids to work with me during the summer. So sometimes the older kids would watch the younger ones, and they would play in the gymnasium or outside in the faculty lounge. I dropped them off at movies. I went and took them to the library where the older kids volunteered. And when I told my friends about this setup, they were like, oh my goodness, I wish I had a daycare like that where I was still working and could be with them. Things have since changed as people have found the work from home convenience, but it started to help me realize that where I thought I was lacking as a mother being around my kids, I was really improvising and doing pretty great. When we compare ourselves, we sometimes doubt that we're not enough. And I'm here to tell you, you are enough of a mom for your kids. So as you're looking for systems to keep your sanity this summer, just know that we all mom in the same language. Let me give you an example. There is a part of my job where I would have to help transition students that were speaking a different language and from a different country into our boundary schools. Refugees moved in quite a bit into our school district. And a lot of the arrangements, I would go and I would help families learn how to navigate the bus route before getting to school, how to walk to school, and which way to go. This particular mother, I did not speak the language. My second language is Spanish, and so it was very easy whenever it was a Spanish-speaking family to communicate with them. But this particular family spoke Arabic, which I did not. And so as we were texting back and forth, because we can use that as a translation tool, I let her know that I would be there at 8 a.m. to pick up the children, and we would walk the route to school so they would become familiar with it. And as I approached the door, I knocked on the door. I didn't hear anything. I waited. I knocked again, and that's when I heard a lot of commotion and discussing and talking and some things behind the door before it finally opened. The mom was up there and she's like, oh, I'm sorry. And she yells for her kids. And I could tell as she was yelling for them, it was a hurry up, she's here, right? We've all been there. And they come rushing out to put on their shoes. She is momming to them in a language that I completely understand. Fixing their hair, wiping their mouths off, looking at how they are dressed, telling them to put on their shoes before they get out of the door. And as I watched her preparing her kids to leave, not understanding anything she was saying, I could see that she was setting expectations for them to pay attention and listen, that she was looking at them in the eye. She was taking some time with them, gave them a hug, and let them know that she loved them as she kissed them on the forehead. And we got out the door and onto school on time. And I could tell that those kids were loved. We didn't speak the same language, but I saw the mom in the same language. And as we get ready for summer, our children are not going to see how other mothers are mothering them. and their children. Your children are going to see how you mom with them. And I'm here to encourage you that you've got to leave the shoulda, woulda, couldas at the door. It doesn't help that social media is out there to show you that they're going on trips this summer and there's camps going on, but you have to find what works for you. And the one way that I was able to begin ending the suffering of the shoulda, woulda, couldas is I realized I need to do less. I need to do less as a mom. It sounds odd, but here's what I mean. Less stands for have more loving in your family and for you and your kids, engaging more with your children, be more self-assured within yourself, and most importantly, do some sparkling of your own as a mom. As I said earlier, I had to find what worked for me as a working mom, and there were things that I could engage in differently than others could not. I did have some self-doubt here and there when my child asked me why I couldn't come into the school every day, but I was able to use my vacation time to go on field trips. A lot of things that people cannot do, that can't leave their jobs. You have to look at what you can do that's less for you to be able to sparkle. And as we come towards the summer, there's families that are going to be taking camping trips and going to all these different places. And what if you don't even like the great outdoors? What's the purpose there, right? The purpose is to spend time with your family. So perhaps instead of comparing and thinking, I should be taking my kids on a camping trip, that's just the experience they need to have, do less. Pack a picnic basket, get in the car and go find a trail for the day and walk and enjoy nature for a short time, pack everything up by 5 o'clock and be home in your own bed and have your own shower. Your family will be just as fulfilled of the time that you spent with them, and they will thank you for that, and you'll thank yourself. Do less. Don't compare what you should be doing. Do what works for you. At the end of the day, us moms want happy, healthy kids who are kind and well-rounded individuals. And how can they achieve that? One is to know that they are loved at home. I read a quote the other day that said, I don't want my kids to worry if they get into trouble and think, I can't call my mom. I want them to be in a position where they know, I need to call my mom. Having that love and care for your kids in certain situations allows that time. Be engaging. During the summer, it's going to be really hard because they're home, eating all the food, getting in all the things. But that's when you say, I'm going to put the phone down. I'm going to listen to them, or I'm going to put on Just Dance on YouTube and dance with them. I'm going to go swimming with them. I'm going to engage a little bit more. My kid likes to go skateboarding. I do not, but I can ride a bike and I can ride along while they're skateboarding and spend some time with them doing some of the things they do. It just takes 10 minutes. After being engaging, be self-assured that you are enough. You are enough for your kids. All you need to do is look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm doing the best I can with the resources I have. And every mom is different. And then most importantly, add some sparkling to it. A little bit of sparkling goes a long way. That's the smile, that's the laugh. I love the jokes that I find online. I'm not just like a very good natural, hey, want to hear a one-line joke? But the internet helps provide some good ones. And so you can sparkle a little bit in your day, a little bit of dancing and singing. Here's the thing. When you do less, you fill up your kid's heart more. And during the summertime, that's all they need. That's a little bit of excitement that they get to look forward to as they're home resting for the summer. But here's something that I have to offer you as an educator. I do give them a week. My kids get a week of just being bored, doing nothing, sitting around. And then after that week, they get back on a schedule. A routine is what drives me to be able to do less in the home. They get up and they read a little bit of a book, or they do math facts, or they write a little bit in their journal what they're grateful for before the day begins. And it also helps with the summer slide from learning. We're all continual learners after all. So be less if you can't do what I do, and carry flashcards in the car. Have something on your app for rhyming if your kids are younger. Be less and get creative as you're on those long car rides and listen to an audio book. Play some fun games, but give up what you think you should do and just mom the way that it works for you. I encourage you to find those ways, ask your kids what they're interested in, make a summer bucket list, and as you're doing it, do less. Thank you so much for coming to this session. It's been so much fun talking with you. Have a great summer, and remember, keep a little bit of your sanity. You can follow me on LinkedIn, YouTube, and on Instagram at mloveday consulting. Have a great day.